What is up, everyone? I'm Kimmy Chex, joined here with my fantasy friends, Marcus Grant and Adam Rank. The NFL has just released the list for the all-decade team, and we are here to chat through the tight ends. Now, we had Gronk, which was an obvious choice, as well as my Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce. Now, Marcus, I want to start with you. Out of the two of these tight ends, who is your all-decade fantasy tight end?
Well, you said it was obvious. I mean, I'm going to go with the obvious pick. It's Rob Gronkowski. I mean, you're talking about the guy who's arguably the greatest tight end ever to play the game. I mean, his first 3 years in the league, he scored a combined 38 touchdowns. I mean, it was like 5 different occasions where he had double-digit touchdowns in his career. And yes, the injury sort of slowed him down, but even still, he was as productive as they come. I mean, we were reaching a point where we were talking about drafting him in the first round. We never talk about drafting tight ends in the first round, but Gronk was a guy that we put in that category. So for me, he's an easy call for the all-decade fantasy tight end.
Okay, well, speaking of people not drafting tight ends in the first round, Adam Rank, you drafted Travis Kelce in the first round of your fantasy draft last season. So is it not the obvious choice of Gronk and it's Travis Kelce instead?
I think it is Gronk because obviously for the reasons Marcus laid out. But let's say, Travis Kelce, one of the reasons why I chose him because the drop from Kelce to other tight ends. Now, obviously, George Kittel is in the class with him, but otherwise, it's pretty steep. And over the last 2 seasons, Kelce has 200 receptions, right on the nose. He's had over 1,000 yards in 4 consecutive years. And I kind of like the idea of drafting a tight end in the first round. I anticipate doing it this season, whether it's Kelce, whether it's George Kittel. But I think that getting that production from the tight end position really just benefits you because the drop off of like having to stream guys that you're hoping Vance McDonald, no disrespect to Vance McDonald, but you're hoping he comes through. Whereas with guys like Gronk and Kelce and Kittle, they are going to come through.
Okay, you've just got George Kittle on your brain. You keep bringing him up. If we were to predict who is going to be the all-decade fantasy tight end for the 2020s, is it George Kittle?
Yeah, I think it's George Kittle. At least for me, it's George Kittle. I mean, we've seen what he's done already. It wasn't long into his career that he set an NFL record for receiving yards in a single season by a tight end. He looks like he's going to be the focal point of that Niner offense, at least as a Niner fan, I hope so, for years to come. He's a great blocker. He's a great pass catcher. He really can make this offense go. And so I think George Kittle is going to be the standard bearer as we go into the next decade for the tight end position.
All right, Rank, are you agreeing with George Kittle, or do you think it's going to be one of these younger tight ends coming up?
100%. To me, George Kittle is probably the best non-quarterback in the NFL. So that choice to me is obvious, but I'll go with another Iowa guy who I'm keeping my eyes on, Noah Fant. Last year at the end of the season, when Drew Lock took over as the quarterback, he really started to focus on the tight end position. It was kind of a nice change when Drew Lock came in. He's like, oh my gosh, Cortland Sutton's a good player. Deshaun Hamilton. And look, Noah Fant can catch the. Yes, thank you for doing it. Like Joe Flacco was supposed to be the guy who was going to make Noah Fant a fantasy superstar in his first season. But of course, it ended up being Drew Lock. And so heading into this year, if I end up not getting Kelce or Kittle or even Zach Ertz, then I'm probably going to wait around long enough to take Noah Fant. And I think that this is just the beginning for him. And I think in this offense, he can have a long, productive career.
Well, I think you guys both just earned bonus points with me being a fellow Iowa Hawkeye and knowing both George and Noah quite well. But if you want to check out the complete list of the all-decade team and not just the tight ends, make sure you go to NFL.com/all-decade team. Marcus, Rank, always a pleasure seeing you guys. We will see you next time.